Alright, so this video is just a little throw together for a Google form that I'm using to do attendance and collect information from students so that I can give feedback, kind of automated. It'll send them an email and reply. So I have this form. I'm putting it in an attendance tab, so it's separate. If you have 5 classes of 30 students, you may want to make a separate one of these for each class. So that would be copy the form, change the name, because it's going to set up a spreadsheet. And I'll show you what I mean. So here's my form. Some directions on it, whatever you want to do. I added to pick the date to where you actually have to go in and pick the date off of a calendar, and I did that because I want to be able to sort this data by date or by name or whatever, and it does automatically timestamp, which is a really nice thing because that means when the kid submits it down to the millisecond, it timestamps it, so I know exactly when the person did it. But this gives me the date because, you know, I have 15 people who submitted it today, but at different times today. It won't pick all of those up in a search when I'm filtering for dates. So it'll only come up with one thing. So anyway, so first name, last name, and then in my particular case, I set up the classes. I may change this. I don't know. I'll think it through. And then daily journal text. So here's where I'm going to enter my text, whatever I want. Gee, I don't know how to do fractions or whatever. I can put that in there. It will, as soon as they hit submit, will immediately send a report to me. Now, let me pull up the form. I'm sorry, I thought I had it up here already. I want you to see mine. I was showing you what the students saw. So here's what it has the questions. I can modify it. I can change it. I made all of them required, so they had to put it in. If you pick responses, I don't know how familiar you are with Google Forms and all that. I can look at my responses here. I've never been a big fan of this version because I can't manipulate it. So I always hit this little green thing here, view responses in sheets. When you do this, it asks you if you want to create a new sheet or link it to an existing. So I've done that already, and here's my sheet. So here's some responses that I had. Let's say I only want to do a week's worth, and then I want to make a new tab down here for next week. I can copy this and then empty it for, well, let me show you here. So here I've already done that, made a copy of it. So the default is called form responses 1. So I just made a copy, then I renamed it last week. So I had last week, so I have a little less data. I'm thinking this might go on more than a week, and I've done this where I've had hundreds and a couple hundred entries in there, and it gets a little bit more challenging to manipulate. So I can sort with the filter. It highlights everything. I can sort by date or name. If I pick a filter, it shows me, it default selects all of them, so I can clear it, and then I can just pick one, say OK, and it only pulls up. It didn't delete that data, it just hit it, so it only works for this match. Okay, pick the little filter again to turn it back off, or reselect all. Or if I didn't do that because I forgot, all I have to do is undo the filter, and now I should have got, yeah. I got everything back. Okay. So that's all really nice and good. So here's what the students wrote. Pretty interesting stuff. Here's one that I didn't give feedback. So here is... So I send a response to the students. I want to send a response to the student. I could go and do a comment in Google Classroom, or I could pull up an email and send them an email, or I can use this thing called Form Mule. And if you notice over here in this area, I sent responses earlier. It timestamps who the email was from, me, and who the email was to. I have lots of documentation for anybody who may question, am I paying attention and responding to students? How about that? So, how do I do that? Form Mule. You have to go and add-ons, and then I added on get add-ons. It's called Form Mule. It's like a mail merge. Open it. I had to create a form. I will pull it up so you can see it. So that's the name of the tab I'm using. So if I don't want to rename them and I want to make a new tab, I could theoretically give it a new name. I don't like messing with this form. Once it's done, I like to leave it alone. So next, template 1. I'm going to send all rows that are available. Save the template. What did I do? Oh, I was looking at it instead of just preview and send. I think this is where it is. Haven't done this a lot lately, so number of emails Form Mule will attempt to send. 0 new emails will be given new values. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to stop this. Oh, that's because I have that highlighted. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? Preview and send. Come on. Well, we're going to have to end this and figure this out, or... Oh, there we go. I don't know what I did. So when I'm building the template and previewing it, who I want to send to, I pull from their email address. Pick this, it puts it over there. Subject, I typed it in. This is what it is. I said hi, and I picked first name. You wrote, picked your journal text. I wrote my feedback and feedback. That's the form. So now, because these are all in these little carets, whatever, greater than, less than, okay, it will pull the information from the spreadsheet. So I send it. It says it didn't send any. Why, oh, why? Okay, so I'm highlighting these, and then I'm going to go to Form Mule, and I'm going to do Preview and Send All. And it's still not doing it. That's what I want. Well, this worked a little while ago. What the hotel's going on here? So here's my feedback. Oh, looky. There's the problem. I'm trying to send from a tab that was in last week. This is where it's pulling it from. Last week. So let's go back to the mail merge. Setup. Choose source data and set merge type. Let's see if this is what I need to do. See, normally I don't send from one that I've already changed. Normally what I do is I keep the current one. See, form responses, I was trying to pull from there. There wasn't nothing new. Last week, there we go. So this is where I select the tab. Like I said, I would prefer sending, always working from this one. But in this demo here, I'm trying to show you sending from the other one, and I forgot because I haven't done this a lot lately. So anyways, I pulled last week. I'm only have template 1, save template settings. Now it's going to work. So I don't need to edit the template, I don't think. Let me double check. It should be the same template that I had. Yep, all that's good. Save and send all. It's fetching. There we go. Sending 1 from template 1, sending it to. This is what the subject is. Hi, it pulled the name from the form. Emily wrote, show me how to do this. My feedback was, here's how to do it. Send it now. See, it automatically put it there. So there's not enough. Why is that not? Come on. There we go. That's still not exactly right. Maybe it needs to be wider. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't copy whatever formatting of the cell. I needed to copy it down. See, so there it did it. So whatever that formatting is, I probably need to do that. I'll look at that. Formatting, that's easy enough. But at any rate, so it sent this email to her with all that stuff in there. And this is the time it was sent and who it was sent by. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, since I messed up this tab here and I was struggling with this because I forgot, I got to go back here to my form mule, setup, choose source data, because that's where this was. I want it to be pulling from the form responses, not last week. So if I don't turn this back to form responses, I'm only going to be pulling from last week and I'm never going to have any new stuff. Save template settings. Okay, done. So now it will pull from here. So that's where I really want to be. So that's this week. So I don't do that typically until the end of the week. Then I copy it or create a new one. As long as I get the right name in my form mule, I'll be fine. But anyways, this is just something that you know, like I said, I haven't been messing around with this for a while. I've used this a few years ago as a feedback mechanism with my classes. As a daily journal, I made them write a little bit, and then I gave them feedback on what they wrote. You know, this kind of gives us a tool that we can use for this distance learning. Anyway, ramble. I'm out. Thanks.